Welcome to Don Bosco in a Year podcast.
Day 17. Conjuring was a source of wonder. People sat wide eyed at the sight of an endless streams of balls coming out of a little box too small to hold even one, or eggs tumbling out of a little bag. But when they saw me producing balls from bystanders' noses, or heard me tell accurately how much money people had in their pockets, or when they watched me crush coins to dust between my fingers, my audience got frightened and even lost their heads. They began to whisper that I was sorcerer, that I had to be in the league with the devil. My landlord Thomas Comino added to the credibility of this idea. Thomas was a fervent Christian and he loved a joke. I knew how to take advantage of his character and I would say his simplicity to embarrass him thoroughly. One day, for his feast day, he had a very carefully prepared chicken and jelly as a treat for his lodgers. But when he carried the dish to the table and uncovered it, out popped a live cock, flapping about and crackling it in thousand ways. Another time, he had a pot of macaroni cooked and ready to serve. But at the last moment, he found the pot full of dry barn. Sometimes, when he filled the bottle with wine, he would find as he poured it out that it had turned to water. When he wanted to drink of water, he could find the glass full of wine instead. Sweets changed into piece of bread, coins in his purse into piece of rusty tin. A hat became a nightcap, nuts changed into pebbles right in the sack. These were everyday occurrences. Good Thomas was nonplussed. These things are not human, he would mutter to himself. God does not waste time with such frivolities. It must be the work of the devil. He did not dare mention these matters at home, so he sought advice from a nearby priest for the Britannity. Suspecting white magic as an explanation for this trick, he decided to refer the matter to the school superintendent, who was at that time a respected cleric, Canon Burzio, archpriest and parish priest of the cathedral. The canon was a learned man, pious and prudent, and without speaking to others, asked me to explain myself. When he arrived at his house, I find him saying his office. Smiling at me, he made a sign for me to wait. When he had finished, he asked me to follow him to his study. There, he began to question me very politely, but with a serious look. My friend, so far I am quite pleased with your conduct and progress you have made in your studies. Now, however, you are a subject of much talk. Explain yourself to me. Keeping a straight face, I asked him for a few minutes to think over my reply. Then I asked him to tell me what time it was. He put his hand into his pocket, but his watch was not there. If you haven't got your watch, I suggested, could you please give me a 5 solid coin? He checked his pockets, but could not find his purse. You rascal, he shouted angrily. Either you are the devil's servant or he is yours. You have already stolen my purse and my watch. I can't keep quiet any longer. I must denounce you. Even now, I don't know why. What keeps me quiet from giving you a good thrashing? However, when he saw that I was smiling serenely, he got hold of himself and went more calmly. Now let's take this calmly. Explain these mysteries to me. How was it possible for my watch and my purse to vanish from my pocket, unknown to me? Where are they? Well, father, I began respectfully. I'll explain this in few words. It's all the matter of slay of hands, information, and preparation. I'll explain it quickly. Just after I came in, You gave some alms to a beggar. You left your purse on a kneeler. Then you went into another room, leaving your watch on the side table. I hid them both. You thought you had them on your person, while they were really under the lampshade. So saying, I lifted the lampshade and recovered both objects that the devil was supposed to have taken away. The good canon had a hearty laugh. He asked me to give a demonstration of a sleight of hands and how to make things appear and disappear. He enjoyed it all and gave me a little gift. Finally, he told me, go and tell your friends that wonderment is a result of ignorance. Reflection. Doing everything for the sake of evangelization is the conviction that John Bosco had in his life. How much efforts do you take to bring good news to the people of various odd means? Have you developed anything peculiar or specific to make yourself heard or listened to? Have there been missed opportunities in this regard?
Thank you for joining us today on this journey to know Don Bosco. May these reflections deepen our faith, guide us closer to God each day, and hope to see you all tomorrow. Till then, keep seeking, keep praying, keep growing.